"My family thinks you're beneath me," she said, so I walked away without a word. Now her parents are begging my company to fix their crumbling mansion. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, this is a long one, but it's been cathartic to write. I'm 32 now, and this all started back in early 2023. I figured I'd share because if you're in a relationship where you're constantly made to feel like you're not good enough, maybe this will resonate. No advice needed, just venting and maybe a bit of that sweet, ironic justice. I met Emily in college back in 2015. I was studying construction management on a partial scholarship, working part-time jobs to pay the rest, while she was majoring in art history, fully funded by her parents. Her family was old money. Think upscale suburb mansion, vacation homes, the works. Her dad, Mr. Harrington, was some big-shot investor in real estate developments, and her mom was involved in charity boards that seemed more about social status than actual helping. Me? I came from a blue-collar family. My dad was a carpenter, mom a teacher. I learned the trade young, fixing up our modest house on weekends. From the start, I was all in. Emily was smart, funny, and we clicked over shared interests like hiking and old movies. I wasn't blind to the class difference, but I thought love bridged that. I supported her through everything. When she graduated and couldn't find a job in her field, I encouraged her to pursue her passion for interior design. I even helped her set up a small freelance gig, using my skills to build sample pieces for her portfolio. We moved in together in 2019 into a nice but affordable apartment I could cover on my salary as a foreman for a local contracting firm. That's when the mistreatment started ramping up. Her parents never outright said it, but they made it clear I wasn't their kind. At family dinners, Mr. Harrington would grill me about my ambitions, smirking when I talked about loving hands-on work. "So, you're content swinging a hammer forever? No interest in, say, real investments?" he'd say, while Mrs. Harrington would change the subject with a pitying smile. Emily started echoing them subtly. It began with little comparisons. We'd be at one of her family's parties, and she'd point out some guy in a suit. "Look at how driven he is. He's already flipping properties at 25. Or she'd post on social media about aspirational lifestyles, tagging photos of luxury events where I clearly didn't fit. I brushed it off at first, thinking it was just influence from her circle. But it got worse. I sacrificed a lot for us. In 2021, her parents' mansion had some structural issues: leaky roof, outdated wiring. They were too busy to hire pros, so Emily volunteered me. I spent weekends there for months, fixing it all for free. Saved them thousands. Did they thank me? Barely. Instead, Emily started treating me like a backup plan. She'd flirt with guys from her social set at events, laughing it off as networking. Once, after a gala, she came home tipsy and said, "You know, sometimes I wonder if I'm settling. My friends are with guys who can give them the world." That hurt, but I stayed loyal. I proposed in 2022, thinking it would solidify things. She said yes, but the ring I could afford, a simple band from savings, was met with a forced smile. Her mom later suggested upgrading it to something more fitting. Emily began emotionally abandoning me more openly. She'd cancel our plans for family obligations, then post stories online of her at high-end brunches with eligible friends of friends. One post even had a caption, "Surrounded by ambition, feeling inspired," with a guy who looked like a model banker in the frame. Comments from her circle, "You deserve the best." It felt like public disrespect, making me the punchline. Internally, I was confused and vulnerable. Why was I pouring everything into someone who made me feel like a placeholder? I'd lie awake thinking about all I'd given up, nights out with friends, saving for my own dreams, to make her happy. But I kept committing, hoping she'd see my value. By late 2022, the red flags were screaming. Her parents pushed her to think about her future, code for dumping the tradesman. She started manipulating situations, like inviting me to events just to highlight the gap. At one holiday party, she left me alone while schmoozing with better prospects, later saying, "You seemed out of place anyway." It built to this infuriating point where I felt like a prop in her life. Loyal, but constantly discarded emotionally. I wasn't cheating material. I was the safe, reliable guy she could compare unfavorably to others. Looking back, it was betrayal wrapped in class snobbery. It all came to a head in February 2023 during a family dinner at their mansion. I'd just finished a big job at work, exhausted but proud. Emily had been distant for weeks, texting more, coming home late. I suspected something, maybe not physical cheating, but emotional investment elsewhere. That night, her parents were hosting a casual gathering with some of their investor friends. I showed up in my best shirt, trying to fit in. We were in the grand dining room, crystal chandeliers and all. Midway through, Emily pulled me aside to the study. Her face was cold, smug even. No tears, just this dismissive air like she was firing an employee. "Alex, we need to talk," she started, crossing her arms. "This isn't working anymore." I stayed calm, though my gut twisted. "What's going on, Emily?" She sighed dramatically, like I was dense. "Look, my family thinks you're beneath me. And honestly, I've started to agree. You're a great guy, but you're working class. You fix things for a living. I need someone who can elevate me, match our lifestyle. Someone with real ambition, not just stability." I blinked, processing the cruelty. "Beneath you? After everything I've done? I supported you through school, built your portfolio, fixed this very house for free." She rolled her eyes, that smug twist to her lips. "That's exactly it. You're always the helper, the fixer. But I deserve more. My parents introduced me to someone, a developer, actually. He's got vision, connections. We're not cheating or anything. But talking to him made me realize I've outgrown this. You were comfortable, Alex, but comfort isn't enough. I need excitement, status. This is for the best. You'll find someone on your level, someone who appreciates simplicity." Her logic was twisted, hypocritical. She'd benefited from my simplicity for years, using my skills while mocking them. "So, all those times you said you loved me for who I am? That was a lie." "Not a lie," she snapped, voice rising with entitlement. "People change. I changed. And frankly, my parents are right. You don't fit our world. Imagine our kids growing up without the advantages? No, I can't do that. Here's your ring back." She slid it off like it was nothing, handing it over with a pitying look. "Don't make this dramatic. Just go quietly." The dismissal stung, the way she framed it as my inadequacy, justifying her betrayal. Her parents hovered nearby, clearly in on it. Mr. Harrington poked his head in. "Everything all right?" "Alex, son, sometimes these things don't work out. No hard feelings." But his tone was condescending, like I was a stray they'd tolerated. I didn't beg or yell. The unfairness burned, but I nodded. "If that's how you feel, Emily, then we're done." I pocketed the ring and walked out, past the guests who whispered. She didn't even follow. Later that night, she posted a story, "New chapter, feeling free," with a glass of champagne. Public humiliation on top of it all. I didn't confront her. No angry texts, no showing up at her door. I just detached. That night, I packed my things from our apartment, tools, clothes, a few mementos, and crashed at a buddy's place. The next day, I canceled our joint lease, transferred utilities to her name, and blocked her on everything. No note, no explanation. She wanted me gone. Fine. The confusion hit hard in those first weeks. I'd sit in my truck during lunch breaks, staring at nothing, replaying her words. Beneath me. How could someone I'd sacrificed for, skipping my own vacations to fund her trips, ignoring my dreams to build hers, discard me like that? The silence was deafening. No calls from her at first, which made the abandonment feel even more real. I felt vulnerable, questioning my worth. Was I really just a fixer, unworthy of more? But I didn't wallow long. Pain like that either breaks you or rebuilds you. I chose the latter. I'd always dreamed of starting my own contracting business, but put it off for stability in our relationship. Now, with nothing holding me back, I dove in. First, I got licensed, took the state exams for general contracting, which I'd prepped for years ago. Cost a bit, but I used savings from the ring refund. I started small, rented a cheap office space in town, built a simple website emphasizing quality craftsmanship. I networked at local trade shows, leveraged my old firm's contacts for referrals. Tips from online forums helped. Focus on niche markets like historic home renovations, where my skills shone. I invested in SEO, so searches for a reliable contractor near me popped my name. First job was a kitchen remodel for a neighbor, did it flawlessly, got rave reviews. Months blurred into quiet growth. I hired a couple apprentices, bought better tools. No drama, just work. The unfairness lingered. I'd think about how her family used me, then channel it into bids. By mid-2024, my business, Apex Contracting, was thriving. We landed bigger projects, custom builds, eco-friendly upgrades. Revenue hit six figures. I relocated to a better apartment, started hiking again, reconnected with friends I'd neglected. Internally, my voice shifted. From why me? To this was liberation. I wasn't begging for validation anymore. I was building my own. Emily became a distant memory, irrelevant to my peace. Little did I know, karma was brewing on her side. It wasn't immediate. Karma doesn't work like that. But by late 2024, whispers started reaching me through mutual acquaintances. I'd cut ties with Emily's circle, but in a town like ours, word travels. Her family's empire, built on real estate investments, began cracking. Mr. Harrington had poured millions into high-end developments, mostly commercial properties and vacation homes in overheated markets like Florida. From what I gathered, they'd over-leveraged during the post-pandemic boom, betting on endless growth. But with interest rates spiking in 2024, staying high into 2025 due to economic pressures, it all crumbled. Projects stalled. Tenants bailed amid remote work trends, leaving empty office spaces. One big deal, a luxury condo flip in Miami, tanked when the market corrected. Home prices in Florida dropped as inventory surged, and their loans came due without the cash flow to cover. Lawsuits followed from partners, and suddenly, the Harringtons were selling assets to stay afloat. The mansion, once pristine, fell into disrepair, roof issues again, foundation cracks from neglected maintenance. They couldn't afford top contractors anymore. Emily, she jumped straight into that elevated life she craved. Right after our breakup, she started dating the developer her parents introduced. Call him Jake. He was everything she justified. Flashy car, connections, promises of status. But he was fake, a hustler riding the boom. When the downturn hit, his own ventures imploded. He turned unstable, yelling at her over money stresses, using her as a scapegoat for his failures. Mutual friends told me he dumped her cruelly in early 2025, saying she was dead weight, now that her family's influence dried up. Just like she discarded me. She began unraveling fast. Isolated from her old crowd, those ambitious friends ghosted when the invitations stopped. Her freelance design work fizzled. Without her parents' network, clients vanished. She posted less on social media, but when she did, it was vague cries like "tough times build character" or cryptic stories about learning from mistakes. Reputation-wise, the truth leaked. People saw her hypocrisy, how she trashed a loyal guy for status that evaporated. Even her family turned toxic inward, blaming each other. Mrs. Harrington's charity gigs dried up amid the scandal. I didn't seek this out, it found me. A former co-worker mentioned it over coffee. Heard the Harringtons are broke. Emily's a mess, living back home. Internally, I felt a quiet vindication, but no glee. The betrayal's sting had faded. This was just consequences. By summer 2025, their desperation peaked. That's when the attempts started. The first reach-out came in June 2025, via text from an unknown number. I'd changed mine after the breakup, but she must have gotten it from somewhere. "Alex, it's Emily. Can we talk? Things have changed." I ignored it. A week later, a voicemail. "Hey, I miss what we had. Jake was a mistake. He's not who I thought. My family's going through stuff, and I realize now how good you were to me." No apology, just self-pity. I deleted it. Then her friend Sarah called, someone I'd met at those awkward parties. "Alex, Emily's really hurting. You should hear her out. Her parents say you owe it to her after all the time you spent together." Oh, her. The entitlement floored me. Sarah got pushy. "Come on, don't be bitter. She's from a good family. They just want what's best." I hung up calmly. By July, escalation. Emily showed up at my old job site. Must have asked around. I wasn't there, but a buddy relayed. She looked frazzled, hair messy, no designer clothes. Later, she called from her mom's phone. "Alex, please pick up. Dad's investments went bad. We're selling things. The house is falling apart. I need you. Remember how you fixed it before? We could start over." I answered that one, keeping it brief. Emily, that's not my problem anymore. Her voice cracked, desperate. But it could be. I was wrong, okay? I see now you were the real deal. Jake used me. Cheated with some investor's daughter when things got tough. I'm alone, Alex. My friends ditched me. Family's fighting nonstop. Come back. I'll make it right. Twisted logic again. Like her pain entitled her to my help. No, I said firmly, and hung up. August brought the family barrage. Mr. Harrington emailed my business address. Apex had a website now. Son, we've had a rough patch with the market. Rates killed us. Lost a fortune in Florida flips. The mansion needs work. Perhaps we can hire you? And talk about Emily. She regrets everything. Unpleasant undertone. Like I should discount for old times. Then Mrs. Harrington called, voice sharp. Alex, you ungrateful boy. We let you into our home, and now you ignore us? Emily's depressed, crying over you. Fix this, be a man. Toxic as ever, guilting me while ignoring their role. Emily's attempts peaked in September. A string of texts. Please, Alex. I'm sorry I said you were beneath me. I was influenced, stupid. Let's meet. I'll beg if I have to. Then anger crept in. How can you be so cold? After I gave you a taste of better life? You're petty, ignoring me like this. True colors, smug dismissal flipped to rage when rejected. Her cousin even messaged on social. Family's begging you. Don't make this harder. They're good people, just hit hard times. Unpleasant pressure, all self-serving. I stayed detached, responding minimally or not at all. My life was thriving. New projects, a solid team, even dating casually. Her desperation highlighted the reversal. She needed me now, but I didn't need her. It culminated last week, October 2025. My office got a renovation inquiry. Major work on an old mansion in the upscale suburb. Leaky roof, structural fixes, full interior overhaul. Budget tight, but they sounded desperate. I didn't connect the dots until the on-site consultation. My assistant scheduled it. I handle finals for big jobs. Pulling up in my company truck, team in tow, I saw the place. Crumbling facade, overgrown lawn. Mr. and Mrs. Harrington greeted me at the door, looking aged, humbled. Thanks for coming, Mr. Harrington said, no smirk. We need this fixed cheap. Market hit us hard. Then Emily appeared, pale, eyes widening. Alex. I nodded politely, like closing a deal. Emily. Didn't realize this was your place. Her parents exchanged glances. Mrs. Harrington, you're the owner? Apex Contracting? Well, this is fortuitous. Perhaps we can discuss terms, and maybe personal matters. Emily jumped in, voice trembling. Alex, this can't be coincidence. Please, let's talk. I see now what I lost. You built all this. I'm so sorry. Jake was abusive, left me broke. Family's selling everything. Come back. I'll change. Hypocrisy laid bare, begging the beneath guy. Her eyes darted to my team. The logos, my calm demeanor, power flipped. I stayed firm, focused on my growth. Emily, that ship sailed. I've built a life without needing approval or status. This business, it's mine, earned through work you dismissed. You're irrelevant now, my happiness doesn't involve you. She pressed. But we could rebuild. I realize you were the ambitious one all along. Mirroring her logic. You said I was beneath you, needed someone to elevate. Turns out, I elevated myself. Your family's here because you need my help, not the other way. Mr. Harrington interjected. Son, discount for old times? And forgive Emily. She's learned. No, I said realistically. Standard rates, or find someone else. As for personal, it's over. I've moved on, protected my peace. Seeing you thrive? That's not my concern. Emily's face crumpled, but I turned to my team. Let's assess. We toured. They trailed awkwardly. Outside, she whispered, please. I shook my head. Goodbye, Emily. Drove off. Her in the rear view, replaced by my future. Reddit, it's ironic. They begged my company to fix what I once did for free. I'm free now, emotionally evolved. What a reversal. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.